Stavros Tousios for M4Markets, and good morning. We're going to have a look at Euro Pound and also the Swiss franc against the yen today. If you recall, last time we looked at this sort of divergence coming in down here, right, on the RSI, and we said there is potential for that to actually start falling. Now, after putting in 5 waves in here and somewhat of a corrective price action here, and then again we'll go down with 5 waves, it looks like to me that we're going to get another leg to the downside, probably closer to the 76.80 level rather than, well, I mean, yeah, just the previous low, because typically we use the Fibonacci extension over here, and if we assume that the high is in over here, then that would probably take us down to the 100%. And as you can see, the 100% is at 86.72, whereas the 61 extension is at 86.80. So this sort of 8 pip range, it might be where we are going to have the low in. Now, we don't see any signals over here on the RSI on the 4-hour, but if we go down on the 1-hour, we'll be able to notice that, you know, we have a very short sort of signal over here on the RSI, okay, and that suggests that there is a bit more downside bias rather than upside. And after, of course, having something of an ABC here done, maybe this is going to continue down and finally give us the leg that we're expecting. Now, of course, corrections, you know, they are nearly impossible to figure out how they are going to finish. So for this, you know, I mean, it might turn into a triangle here. We might see a complete breakout now, or we might see that the correction is not even finished yet, and we might get one more leg to the upside and then go lower down. But either case, I will be following closely the 88, because we have actually retested that level twice on the resistance and we failed to break it, and 87.58. Okay, what I want to see is I want to see this breaking, so that increase the chances for the expectation that we have. But if we go up for another time, okay, and we test that for a third time, then probably if we fail to break that low, then most probably going to go up, okay, because the third time, that means that there is third attempt now, and the fourth attempt, if we don't have an attempt to the downside, might be the one that is going to break to the upside, okay. Now on the CHF against the JPY, I've left this idea maybe 2 weeks ago in the weekly, and it was like an actual head and shoulders pattern. As you can see, we're actually down here, which is pretty much a double bottom and the neckline. And since then, from 137.50, we went all the way up to 143, 142.30, which was the level that we talked about offering some sort of restriction initially. Now, there is potential for that to go all the way up to a 143, 144, 143.90 to finish the right shoulder at the peak of the left shoulder. And sometimes, obviously, you don't see these levels really being exact the same. So this is more of a swing trade idea, okay? I'm not saying it's done. I don't think it's done, because if we also look at the duration of this shoulder, we're not looking at the same timelines here. So what I believe is happening is we are currently in correction. Maybe it's going to be a triangle as well. I'm probably going to see one more leg to the upside close to 144. I repeat, this is more of a swing trade, okay, rather than anything else. And, you know, once we get to this level, then you know what happens if we have valid head and shoulders. We break the neckline, and then after the neckline, you know, we do another leg to the downside, and from there, that means continuation, okay? Now, if we go down on the 1 hour, just to pay attention a little bit more on the shorter term, you see the RSI indicates that there is some sort of conversion here, and when we see convergence, that means price action remains sideways. So me personally, I think this is something of a correction here, and it looks like it's a triangle. So I will be looking at a 141 to be somewhat of a pivot point, okay? So 141 might be a resistance, and then we fall lower. If we break above it, it might become a support for a retest, and then we'll continue higher. But the end result of this is that probably we're gonna get something like this, okay? And from there, go down. So I hope this helps, and enjoy Tuesday's session.